Hello, it's that time of the week. You are listening to the Mets in the UK podcast, your home for Mets content in the UK. You can catch us on Spotify, YouTube, or good podcasting hosts every Tuesday. You can also find us on all the socials. You know where to find us at Mets in the UK, hashtag MITUK to get involved. We have a full house. So, evening, Tracey. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, my love?
I am good. Joe, how about you?
I'm fine. Just a little thing to add to your little intro there. The places you can find us. You can also find us in the gutter.
It's going to be one of those episodes, guys. Not even sorry.
No.
Evening, Tor. How are you?
I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm great, thanks, despite everything. But we're here. We are here.
Yeah.
We are still
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
cap's all wonky.
so-
I don't know why. What's going on with my cap? Hey,
I think that's
Least
the
of our problems.
at the moment. Yeah. Let's start with the last week.
Do we have to?
I was right. Those of you that listened to the last pod, I said the Mets were going to go 2-4. But as much as I didn't want to see that, I did say I just want to see some fight. I just want to see some grit, some actual effort from the boys. And no, didn't get it. So 2-4 over the last week. Embarrassing is probably the best word I can use to describe being swept by the Rockies. It's just nothing short of embarrassing. I've not really got much to say on it other than that. Once again, I find it really difficult to watch the games like I did last week. It's just not fun to watch this team at the moment. But enough of my moaning. Tracey, what are you thinking about Mets baseball at the moment?
You mean I have to think about Mets baseball at the moment? I'm sorry. I am normally really positive, enthusiastic, and I just can't find that at the moment. There are lots of questions that need to be answered at the moment, and it seems like nobody is answering them.
Do you think every single one of them's not answering? Is there anyone standing up?
Not really. Not that springs to mind at the moment. It just seems to be really depressing baseball. And when you consider that two teams have let go of managers in the last 48 hours, you have to wonder how long it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fair point. Obviously, I don't know if people know or not. The Phillies let their manager go earlier today. That was sort of breaking whilst we were writing the pod. I'm sure in true Mets in the UK fashion, we'll end the pod and Mendy will be let go because it's what we do. We talk about things and then it happens afterwards. Surely it's not all doom and gloom though, Joe.
Surely it is.
Okay.
It is such a slog, isn't it? You turn up. I keep getting myself excited. I'm looking at the fixtures and the schedule, and there's a game tonight. Yay, Mets game! And I don't even know why I'm doing that because every single one of them at the moment is an awful watch. This is nothing. There's no grit and stuff like you said. And it's like we used to have a beating heart of the team, and they're all gone, and now it's just embarrassing. And people make fun of the Mets at the best of times, and now it's even easier. So we're like sitting ducks to get part of everyone's jokes, aren't we? Which is annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mets don't help themselves at the best of times. It's also, I think what you touched on there is quite a valid point. Thinking back to not that long ago, the 2024 OMG Mets seems like an absolute eternity from what we're currently watching at the moment.
It's so painful, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Interesting question to the group before we come to Tora and her night owl opinions on everything. Sunday, we actually had an inadverted UK-friendly double header because the Saturday game was rained off. So we were actually able to watch both games on the Sunday. Tracey, did you watch both games?
No, I watched the FC Porto match instead.
Joe, did you watch both games?
I suffered through the first game and then I just stared at a blank wall for the next game.
Was that more enjoyable?
Yes.
There we go. I did not watch either game. It's too painful at the moment. It really is. All I can say is thank you to YouTube and the Mets for highlights, because it condenses it down to nice 8 to 10 minutes that's digestible. I don't mind watching that. But 3 hours of watching Mets baseball is just
8 to 10 minutes worth, though, right now.
Well,
it's all very painful at the moment.
It is. Come on then, Little Miss Optimism, our night owl herself. Tor, what would you make on all the Mets baseball from last week?
Oh, bloody hell.
I will. I may bend. I will not break. They have. I honestly, I sent someone a message the other day and was like, I think they might have killed me. Because it is a struggle. I mean, do you know what kind of almost made it worse is we were thinking, right, 9-game homestand. We're coming home. This is it. And then we lost the opening game to the Twins. But then we won 2. So we're like, oh, okay, that's it. That's it now.
We're back, baby. We're back.
We're back. And now I think I even said in the group, like, I was like, it's all good. We're going on a 12-game winning streak now. Yeah. And then the Rockies, I mean, I did say that the Rockies weren't going to be a pushover. Like, historically, you'd have seen the Rockies on the schedule and gone, yeah, it's a sweep. Given where they'd been and how they'd performed recently, I'd say it was going to be hit or miss because they were being streaky too. And they just, split a 4-game series with the Dodgers, just a couple of series before coming to us. But it's not like we gave up loads of runs in that series, aside from the 10-8 game, ironically, the one where we actually scored a load of runs. The problem was that we haven't been hitting either. Well, that's not strictly true. We have gotten some hits. We've had our best friends RISP a few times, which we all know is my favorite thing. Not. Which is really frustrating. We wasted yet another decent McLean start. I mean, the poor lad. I just wanted to go and give him a hug the other day.
He needs to speak to Jake DeGrom, doesn't he, and just to get that out.
It's reminding me of Paul Skeens with the Pirates, when the Pirates were like horrifically bad in his first year and he was just dominating and doing so well. It's kind of similar to that, but yeah, DeGrom as well. Yeah,
of course. In the meantime, we got Soto and Lindor back together for a game, and then we've now lost Lindor, which is not helpful. And typically, he was just starting to heat up both sides of the ball, because we said last week, right? The surprise with Lindor, it wasn't that his bat always starts cold, always, like it always has done, but his defense was a little bit off to start the year. But everything was kind of coming back for him, and then now he's down, and it's just been like just nothing is going our way, and we are hitting balls straight at fielders. We are making mistakes and getting punished for them, whereas your team makes a mistake against us and we can't make them pay for it. But it's not all been horrendous. It hasn't.
Really?
No. Luis Robert has been sneakily just doing his thing. He's been pretty consistent with the bat. I mean, he's elite defensively, but he's been pretty sneaky good with the bat. My guy Ty, bless him.
Not that we didn't get that in group at all recently.
No.
I just love my guy Ty, but like his bat, his bat went MIA last year. I don't know what happened. The year before, again, he was getting a few knocks, and now he's getting them again. And not only that, he's gotten them a couple of times in like really solid, clutch times. So we've had some positives.
We're clutching a bit though with those, aren't we?
Really got to look forward.
They're not the ones we're expecting.
Well, correct, right, absolutely that. Soto is back, but walking quite a lot. I think that opposing pitchers know that we are not hot at all at the moment, and so they're just pitching around Soto because they're like, he's the only real threat. So I think we're suffering with that because we're not giving him, well, he's not getting the opportunity to drive anything in. I mean, you kind of need something in front of him to do that. Yeah. Which, brings us to another problem. And we can get onto, what we think we can do about it. And I also want to go back to the Mendy thing, which I'm sure we'll come to shortly. But I think Bichette again has shown a little bit this week. He's gotten a couple of hits. Again, it looked like maybe that was him coming out of it. But again, he was a bit inconsistent. I don't know if maybe they consider dropping him down the order a little bit just to take that pressure off a touch. And have my guy in the lineup more often, because his bat is that you're not going to lose anything defensively because he's excellent defensively. He can play everywhere in the outfield. So have my guy in more often, and not just as a pinch hitter. Have him starting, and we need to start getting some runners on base for Soto to at least bring home, or create some traffic ahead of him so that they're less tempted to pitch around him for the walk. So Lindor's going to be out for a little while, so we can park any Lindor related chat, suck it up, deal with it, move on. Just we have to, we can't bemoan that we haven't got Lindor. It's a big miss. But at least we do have a bit of depth there. But this is the other problem. We've had kind of a merry-go-round of players in different positions. We've not had a real set infield, particularly, and even the outfield. They've been mixing it up. So I think we need a little bit of stability. We need to consider dropping Bo down the order. I think maybe elevating Polanco or Simeon, perhaps. Simeon, again, he's been doing his thing, just, again, nothing to set the world on fire, but just, he's a professional. Simeon is a professional. But, as I keep saying, what would be really nice is for these elite, best of the best baseball athletes to remember how to do their jobs. That's lovely. It'd be really good if they could remember that they, get
how to hit a ball.
Yeah, and not only it's both sides of the ball. Again, like I said, we've made some silly mistakes, and don't even get me started on Senga. Literally, I have in my notes. In my notes, I literally just wrote because it was the first thing that sod off Senga. Just
wow.
Because
Toria.
Very positive, isn't it?
Because we can't rely on him. He's either I put in the group the other day, he had that one good inning, and I was like, oh, we're going to get good Senga today. No, and that's the problem. You can't rely on him because he's either really, really good or really, really bad, and you can't construct a roster like that. It just can't happen because you need the guys that you can rely on. We know everyone gets excited when it's a McLean start, right? Mm-hmm. Because we know the likelihood is he's going to have a good outing. we can't say that. We know that Peralta's probably going to have a good outing as long as he doesn't go too far. So Peralta's problem is that he's been really good for like 5 innings, and then the wheels have started to come off a little bit. And then, I mean, who are we going to? Holmes has been all right. He's starting tonight. Get onto that. He's been okay, but like we haven't got that solid pitching that historically we've had. We've got Mania in the bullpen. We've got poor David Peterson. I am so sorry, David. It's all my fault. I jinxed him completely. Stop it, Joe.
No, sorry.
It's all my fault. So, you know, we need to sort out the pitching. We've tried to fix it. We you know, pulled Christian Scott up. That didn't work. Again, Tom, I know you've got an opinion on that, but we had to try something. Perhaps the occasion got to him. Perhaps he'd been doing okay. He'd not been outstanding before they called him up. But I'm kind of, you know, I'm at a bit of a.
I'm a bit worried if Toria's this down about it.
Oh.
I'm trying to be positive. Well, I say I'm trying again. Like last week, I said I'm more optimistic than positive. Like
I've got something positive for you. I've got something positive for you.
Yeah.
Do you want something positive, everyone? Alvarez
Yes, please.
got his first ever pinch hit.
Yes, he did. He did. There we go. They were saying how he had this like terrible record of so many at bats without a hit when he was pinch
odds, I think, wasn't it?
And then he got it.
There you go. That's some good news. About time.
Well, whilst talking about news, I'll just run through the news from last week just to bring it back down again. As Tor said, Soto's back, but Lindor's out, looking likely to miss the entire month of May, or as good as all of it. Blanco is still out, but he is feeling better, as they said, whatever that means.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an odd quote. Austin Slater has been signed to a 1-year deal. Tommy Pham, DFA'd.
Tommy.
He lasted long.
I know. Eric Wagaman, which auto-corrected on my phone to Wagamama, and no, it's not that. Eric Wagaman's been claimed from the Twins on waivers. There's been many pitching changes. Poor Austin Warren, a bit of a yo-yo back and forth. Christian Scott and like 50 other pitching changes. David Peterson, is in the pen with Sean Manaea as well. There's not really much to note. It's just standard back and forth kind of transactional stuff there. And then the other sort of area of debate and discussion kind of follows on from what I was saying about the worst of the Mets fans. Many calling for Mendy to go. I even saw one utterly ridiculous take earlier. I'm not going to say who or where just because I don't want to give them the airtime, but it was arguing that Steve Cohen is like the Wilpons in that he doesn't know how to run a baseball team and that he should just sell the team and he's only bothered about the. I'm just like, guys, come on, like what are we doing at this point? It's ridiculous. That's all the news. We'll get to the Mendy thing in a minute. As Tor said, I just want to touch on the pitching thing because obviously pitching is my thing. It's disappointing to see so many, like you said, good pitchers just not being able to consistently throw a ball. And I've talked about this many times before on the pod. I wonder how much of it is down to what they're being coached and what they're being told to throw. I just wish guys would like back off trying to like break the radar gun with like 100-mile-an-hour pitches. I'm going to go back to my guy Bartolo again, but he's proof that you don't need to throw 100-mile-an-hour pitches on everything. Yep. Control is more important than having flashy numbers. I would much rather, like Peralta, classic example, I'd much rather watch him go out and throw 92 to 94 consistently and go deeper into games. Like I'll take that. That's much better. Have a better
Yeah.
command of the strike zone, throw the right pitches.
Do you think that will come back into fashion, or do you think that's gone now?
I don't know, because they're signing guys out of high school and college off the back of, oh, this guy threw 102 in high school, and it seems like it's being coached so low down. Kind of like, you know, we've got the same problem with football or soccer, if any of the Americans are listening, where the Guardiola Barcelona pass it out from the back. No one wants to play as a striker or a centre back because everyone wants to be a number 10. That's coached so low down now. We're now having this problem, and we haven't got any centre backs or strikers because no one wants to play the position anymore. I think it's the same thing with baseball, where we've just got these pitchers that are trying to almost throw their arm off, trying to throw these ridiculous pitches, and like the Tommy Johns, and it's just not working. And we're talking about prospects as well. And I'm sorry, guys, Christian Scott's not it. I'm going to say it, and I know it's going to upset some people out there, but for me, he is another classic case of a Mets prospect that has been overhyped by social media as being this savior or this like future all-star, and I just don't see it in him. And I can take on, like, nerves can come in when you're young, obviously, I get that, but when you look at what we've got, is Christian Scott better than Nolan? Absolutely not. I'd even say he's not better than Jonah Tong. He's like, he's third in that pecking order. You know, I know we lost Sproat and we lost a couple of others, but is Sproat better than Scott? I honestly don't know, because he can throw good pitches, like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he is this elite solution that the Mets are looking for. I think pinning your hopes on a guy coming up from AAA and absolutely nailing it in a spot start, I don't know. I'll get off my high horse about it, but I think Joe's right. We need to go back to basics. It needs
maybe
to
it will come back around. These things often do, don't they? It's like phases.
Yeah, and I hope you're right. Like, I really hope it does. Not only from an injury perspective, because it's not fun seeing guys hurt and out for the season because they need Tommy John because they're trying to throw 102. But I just think, like, common sense, like you're saying with other teams, Tor, about they're pitching around the strike zone for Soto. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not throwing 94s around the strike zone, having actual control of the ball, playing it sensibly? It doesn't make sense. Like, if we're not doing the basics right, this is why we're not winning baseball games for me. But I mean, let's bring Tracey into and Joe in, because they've not said much lately. Like, Tracey, what do you think?
I remember having a conversation with a guy that's a pro baseball coach a while back, and he said that basically kids in high school are wearing Tommy John scars as a badge of honor. That needs to change. They cannot be conditioned to believe that throwing 105, 106 is normal for the human body. And the fact that they have to have an operation to correct that just proves it isn't. I know Tom's been struggling in the minors recently, but I'd love to see him back because he can handle the New York heat. And can I just say, we do have one good thing that's coming up from the minor leagues. AJ Ewing has been promoted to AAA Syracuse, and he's the 3rd ranked prospect in the system at the moment. So seeing him come up to AAA, amazing. I don't want them to rush up, but one thing that does seem to be missing at the moment for the team, for me, is chemistry. There's no OMG Mets, or something of that ilk. It just seems a bit blur at the moment.
A bit bland.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one good thing about the only good thing about us not scoring many home runs at the moment is that celebration. I mean, what?
Even that's crap.
I mean, I'm sure they have like some really good sentimental reason for it, but just no. And one of them's going to get injured. You know that's happening.
Oh yeah.
Like someone's getting injured from that.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think about everything?
I think our new nickname should be the Bland Mets. That's what we should be. because that's what it is, isn't it? But I'm with you on the pitch, and I love watching Bartolo, and even like going back a bit more like R.A. Dickey and stuff, where you just watch like a masterclass instead of someone just launching the ball and it going everywhere. Because was it the other day?
Young winning R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, and was it the other day I saw someone get hit in the face because it was just like a monster fastball just straight at someone? It's like we don't want to see that. Careers are going to be over for people getting hit or pitchers not being able to have a career because they've broken their arm about 5 times before they're 20. What's the point? It's just annoying. But I agree with all of you. I think there's just I'm not enjoying it because everything feels forced. There's like forced celebrations and trying to force chemistry, and they're just not a combination of players that I don't watch them and think they get on. I watch them and think that no one's enjoying it. Like Bo Bichette, that's miserable as sin, which you can understand. And I just hate that lack of chemistry. I don't know how we fix it.
I think
someone
music
fix it,
doesn't help.
No, that's true.
I think if we were winning,
I don't think we could. We're not winning because of that, though. It's a big part of it.
It probably is part of it. It's a vicious circle, isn't it? But I think, I think it's difficult to be cheerful and have that camaraderie. I mean, when they talk, they all talk about the team spirit and playing.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. When they talk, but we're not seeing it.
But
you're right.
They're talking the talk, not walking the walk.
Exactly.
I think the thing to remember in that as well is they all have media training, so they're told what to say and how to say it. So they're never going to come out and say anything controversial because they know it's not good for the PR or the team or their own career. So I think we're talking about fixing it. I'm going to go back to the thing that I mentioned, and Tracey, you mentioned earlier as well. Like, is Mendy set to be fired? Is any of this his fault? Like, what are we thinking on that one? Do we need to change the manager? Has it got to that point, or should we stand by him? Joe, what do you think?
I think he is like a plumber and someone's stolen his little toolkit because he had all the 2024 he was doing a great job. He had all the little tools in his bag, and gradually they've just been picked apart and chucked away, and now he's left with absolute crap, expensive aging crap. So how's he going to do his plumbing?
Okay, so I'll take that as a no for Mendy being fired.
No, I think he's working with what he's got, but I think what he's got's not good enough, and he's been given that team. So yeah.
Okay, Trace.
I agree with Joe. Yes, some of the blame has to come down to him because he's the one that puts the line outs out every day. But he is not responsible for the attitude and performance of the players. He can do his bit in trying to foster a good mentality. But if you were in a team that's losing as much as the Mets at the moment, would you have a good mentality?
It's a good point. I think on the back of that mentality thing, I know some of the players have come out and defended him, but kind of like what we were saying with the media training, they're not going to come out and criticize the manager. Even Buck towards the end of his time with the Mets, like the players were still defending him right up until the very last. So I don't think you're going to hear any players come out and say anything controversial about Mendy. But I think you're right. Like, there's a lot of this that's not in his hands. Like, they have data analysts and there's the coaches that work specifically on the pitching side or the hitting side or whatever it might be. They have a lot of input into the pre-game preparation, and I don't think it solely sits on Mendy's shoulders of everything that's going wrong with the Mets. So I don't think you can pin all of the blame on him. However, I can see why some people are calling for his head because he does, and even now this is what, third season now with him, he's still making those wild calls mid-game that make people go, what are you doing that for? And it's not every game, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But you'd think that by now, 3 years into the job, like, you can kind of, like that first year when he was here, you can kind of go, oh, well, he's new to management. He's getting sort of the kinks out of his system. Like, it's cool. But 3 years into a job, you're still making the same mistakes you were making in the first year. I can see why people are calling for his head. But I'm looking at what's out there, just thinking like, we better not just stick him with him for the time being and waiting for something good to come along. Like, I don't know. Like,
What does good look like?
Exactly, like what's someone else going to come in and do that he's not able to do, bearing in mind that there's a lot of it that's not his responsibility because there's other people in the organization that do that. Tor, what do you think?
I'm kind of with all of you, really. I think that I personally don't think he should go, but I could see why people would suggest that. And I mentioned to you earlier, he does make some really odd decisions sometimes, and like you said, sometimes they come off, but other times they go wrong, and if they go wrong, it's very costly, and so you remember everything that goes wrong. You don't necessarily remember when he made a really good call that actually had a positive outcome, which is part of the problem, right? You all have, everyone has that kind of bias. I think that the coaches need, you've got to remember, we brought in a whole new coaching staff, right? Who made those decisions? Who decided? Because there is something clearly not working there. It's because they're the guys that are day to day telling the players what to do, how to approach the game, what moves to make. But ultimately, and I said this last week, the players have to do their job. They are, I know, Joe, you said that they are crap, but actually there's a distinction. They are performing crap.
Yeah, they wouldn't be there if they were crap.
They are not crap players. And I said this last week, they are excellent ball players. They're just not doing their job, and it's absolutely infuriating. Now, our friend Young Keith actually had a really good take earlier. I retweeted it. I'll do it from our account as well. And his take was around the impact of the two recent firings. So we had Alex Cora the other day from Red Sox, and we have Rob Thompson today from the Phillies. And his point was that these guys are great winning managers that the players at those teams love and respect. And because as an organization, you can't just fire all the players, unfortunately. I mean, we should be able to do something like I said, sort of Sanger, but like you can't just. I'm sorry. I like him. I like the hype. His Ghost Fork is incredible, but he's not worth keeping around.
And he hasn't been the same since the Pete injury.
He's not. But young Keith's point was that actually maybe this might be a good thing for the Mets, because the Mets players don't want Mendy to go, but they're going to see that actually this is what happens because these groups of players aren't performing, and therefore because they can't fire the players. Sorry, young Keith, I'm like stealing his thunder here. But it's a good point. Because they're seeing these teams where these groups of players are underperforming, they can't sack the players. So what do? They get rid of the manager to make a point and say, this is your fault. Like, look what happens when you don't do your job. Someone has to pay for it, and the only person that can be is the manager, no matter how much you love and respect him. So Keith's point is maybe that will give the players a bit of a kick to think, well, if they're not untouchable, then maybe Mendy's not either, and maybe we actually need to try and help save his job here, because if he loses it, it's our fault. It's a good point.
Yeah, it is a very good point. I wonder, with the day off, we were talking about this earlier, so like, I think clearly some meetings have happened, some things have definitely been said, and I'm hoping, and I'm going to use this as the segue into the next, but I'm hoping over the next few games, we're going to see a bit of an improvement from our Mets. Before I get on to our next games, though, what do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. Should Mendy be fired? Is it time to make a change? Let us know your thoughts down below. We always enjoy reading and responding to those. So, upcoming games, we've got 3 against the Nationals, who I can't believe the 3.5 games ahead already at this point of the season. Those 3 games are at City Field, and then there are 3 all the way across West Coast games against
Painful
the
travel.
Angels, which is kind of like an early start. So it's kind of UK friendly if you want to get up early before work. Kind of.
It's better
Depends on
than
how
parts.
much do you enjoy an early morning? I don't know. So there's 6 games coming up. As is always the case, feel free to play along at home. What are your predictions? We'll start with Trace. What are you going for?
I reckon there's going to have been a player meeting, like either yesterday or today. Someone needs to stand up as leader with the absence of Lindor, and they're going to have their collective little booties kicked. And shush, Joe. And I think we are going to take 2 out of 3 in Washington, or against Washington rather, and 2 out of 3 as well against the Angels. There we go.
4 and 2 from Tracy. Okay, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard a rumour that the real reason King Charles has gone to America is to have a bit of a word with the Mets. So he's starting in Washington. So we've sent him there. So I've sent him there to sort him out. So he's in Washington now. So I think we'll win 2 out of 3 in Washington. And I think we'll win 1 against the Angels. But when we go back to New York, he's meeting with Mandani, I think, as well. So he's having a bit of a pep talk with him. And so when we get back home, we'll be back to the old Mets again. But I think, is that 3 and 3? Did I say that?
3 and 3. Yeah.
Thanks,
3 and 3
King Charlesy. King Charlesy.
Sure.
Oh, don't make me.
Come on.
Do it. Do it.
I don't want to.
Come on.
I think the Nat series, it's got to get off to a good start. We need to win tonight, but it's Bark in the Park tonight, so we'll have all the little doggos on our side as well. So that's cool, and it's a good pitching matchup for us tonight, in theory. So they've got Littell going, whose ERA is currently like ridiculous. However, he does have a knack of being pretty good against us.
Everyone does. They have this crappy ERA and then they play us and they're really good.
Littell's
exactly.
ERA is currently 7.56.
So he'll get a no-hitter tonight.
Yeah. But we've got Holmes going, who has been steady. He's stop it, Tom. Every time I've mentioned Holmes tonight, he's just pulled his face.
It's not having it.
Timothy, stop it.
It's because he showed him up last year when I said he was going to be good, and Tom said he wasn't, and he was. So I think that the Nat series is going to swing on the result tonight. We should, everything's in our favor to get, like Tracy said, they've had an off day. They will have been home with their families for a little bit, just had a bit of time to clear their heads and home comforts and all of that good stuff. So hopefully that will have given an opportunity for them to regroup a little bit. Dogs are going to bark them on to success. So then I think we'll take
clutching, aren't we?
We'll take 2 of 3. If we win tonight, we'll either take 2 of 3 or 1 of 3 against the Nats. If we win tonight, we're taking 2. If we don't, we'll be lucky to get 1. When we go to Angel Stadium, Angel, in theory, it should work for what we are trying to do, in that it's not built for home runs, right? Like the center outfield is huge. Like, don't get me wrong, I mean, Trout's been firing, but he's been hitting more home runs on the road than at Angel Stadium. There's been a few where a lot of other ballparks they would have been home runs, but they're not there. So actually we need to focus on our contact hitting there. My biggest concern with that series is Soriano is starting tonight, which means that he'll likely feature against us. Soriano is fire. We're not. I'm writing that game off completely straight away. We're not getting anything.
Surprise us.
We're not getting anything against Soriano. So I think we might take 1 in LA. But I mean, they're really streaky at the minute as well. So their bats were really hot. Then they went freezing cold, and now they've heated up again. But their bullpen is terrible. Bullpen is awful. So if you can get the starting pitcher out early, then you've got a shot. Because their bullpen keeps throwing away games, which, given that they're my soft spot team, I love to see it. So I mean, at least that's one small mercy for me with that series.
Yeah. So we're saying 3-3,
3-3,
maybe 2-4.
Yes, I'm going to stick with my optimistic self and say and bank on 3-3 because we're going to win tonight.
Okay. I'm going to finish off. I'm going to stick with the same as last week. I think we're going 2-4 again.
Just no.
I don't want to. I don't want to see them lose. I think it's going to take a lot to climb out of this slump. And I think what Torsten's right. Like, I think tonight's first game is going to be important, having had some time off. I think that's going to massively affect the rest of this 3-game series. I wouldn't be surprised to see us same time next week say it like, oh, we're 2-4 again. It just wouldn't surprise me.
And if it is, we're going to blame you, negative Nelly.
That's fine. I would love to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I just can't.
Probably won't be.
No, I'll try and not be smug. So that brings the episode to a wrap. If you're still listening, wow, well done. Thank you. Share, like, subscribe, comment, tell everyone, all the usual. Let us know your thoughts.
Sorry, just on that point, we had a couple of new subscribers this week. So welcome and thank you. And we appreciate the support.
Yes.
We do.
Yes. We do. Tell more people. Let's have more subscribers and more listeners. Why not? We'll be back same time, same place next week. As always, all that leaves us to say is
let's go Glam Mets.
Let's go Mets.